Today we present to you a tale which has captured the hearts of so many. A tragedy has befallen the family of one of South Africa's most recognized political figures, Julius Malema. What has occurred has left so many people in shock, disbelief, and extreme sadness. It's a tale that reminds us that despite how big anyone can be on the outside, they are human. And today that humanity is being felt nationwide. Breaking news came in that the Malema household is grieving a terrible loss. While the complete details have not been released out of respect for the family's privacy, people close to the situation have confirmed that the tragedy does indeed exist and is extremely painful. Family members, close friends, and political supporters have all commented on the emotional cost this moment is having on them. The agony is fresh and the mourning is heavy. Julius Malema, the firebrand with the brash personality and the unbending leadership style, is in his moment of greatest personal weakness. For years he has dominated the public stage, talking loudly, defying authority, and standing for square on his convictions. But now, when confronted by a personal disaster, we experience him differently. A picture of anguish, introspection, and reticence. This experience has served to remind citizens nationwide that leaders are not political entities alone. They are sons, fathers, husbands, and brothers. They have duties not only to the nation, but also to their loved ones. When death occurs, it affects them just as much as it does anyone else. And this tragedy has shattered the Malema family. The reaction from the country has been overwhelming. On social media, individuals are posting condolences, mourning their grief and rallying in support of the family. Supportive messages have poured in from everywhere, young and old, wealthy and poor, fans and detractors alike. The anguish of this tragedy has brought people together in a moment of empathy. Most South Africans have spoken about how this tragedy prompted them to think about their own family, their own experience with loss and grief. Others have posted about losing loved ones, about how difficult it was to find the courage to keep going. And in that collective heartache, a sense of community has emerged. A sense that for once we are all in the same book, feeling the same grief and sending the same love. Julius Malema's political path is familiar. From his time in the ANC Youth League to establishing the Economic Freedom Fighters, he has been on a journey of controversy, bravery, and zeal. He has battled for land reform, economic fairness, and parity. But all those political arguments do not count today. All that counts now is family, loss, and recovery. Even Malema's fiercest opponents have stepped back today. There are so many who have set aside their differences to say we may disagree on your politics, but today we stand with you as a fellow human being. That's rare empathy, but it's an example of how behind all the noise we are still able to be very kind. Political leaders of both parties have spoken about their grief. Others have encouraged the public to respect, to allow the Malema family time and space in which to grieve. It is during these low, respectful key moments that real leadership is displayed not in speeches, but in compassion. The family has said the last few days have been very challenging. The atmosphere has been subdued. There have been tears and long silences and prayers in stillness. When faced with such suffering, there are no simple answers, no simple solutions, only the slow, still process of confronting loss and attempting to heal one moment at a time. In so many ways, this tragedy has forced open essential conversations. Conversations about grief, mental health, and emotional support. People are talking about how difficult it can be to mourn in the public eye, how leaders often have to hide their pain, and how important it is to offer them the same understanding we would offer anyone else. We must remember that public figures are constantly watched, judged, and criticized. But when they experience private loss, they should be allowed to mourn like the rest of us. They should have moments of silence, tender care, and the dignity to experience all emotions without the fear of being judged or attacked. For the Malema family, times ahead will not be easy. Healing is a process that takes time. It requires patience, and it requires the tender care of those around them. They will require one another more than ever. They will require strength, prayer, and community. And with time, they will hopefully discover their path forward. This moment is also a strong reminder to all of us to appreciate our loved ones. Life is brief, and we never know what tomorrow holds. We ought to call the individuals we love. We ought to tell people more frequently that we love them. We must keep our families close and never take a day for granted. It's easy to lose ourselves in politics, social media, and arguing. But at times like these, we are reminded that what really counts is love, family, and being together. Everything else gets lost in the background when loss walks into the room. South Africa has gone through a lot of tough times, but whatever it is that always shines through is the nation's capacity to unite when it counts. In heartbreak, in struggle, and even in tears, there's always a feeling of togetherness when something terrible happens. We've done it before and we're doing it once more now. Neighbors, strangers, and even political rivals are uniting to say, "We are with you, Julius. We stand with your family. We feel your sorrow and we share it too." That is the kind of solidarity that can move mountains and something that we need to cling to. Let this be a reminder to us all that pain transcends color, class, and politics. It touches all of us, and it evokes something in us, something authentic, something raw, something very human. The grief could persist for a very long time. There will be quiet mornings and heavy nights, but eventually, with love and support, the Malema family will start to heal. It won't be tonight, but it will come. Because healing is always an option. Even when we have experienced the greatest pain, we need to be kind also in our words and actions. At this time, it's so easy to speculate or gossip. But now is the time for respect, not rumor. Now is a time for quiet reflection where we don't shout. We need a peaceful response to this tragedy. A response of love where we support, not judge one another. Looking towards the future, we can only hope that this senseless tragedy prompts even greater compassion from South Africans, that we continue to check in with each other, support each other, and share love not only in the suffering, but always because love is what makes us human. Thanks for taking the time to be here today, for watching, for listening, and for feeling. If you were touched by this story, please consider subscribing to the channel for more authentic, genuine, and humanity-driven stories. Your support is everything, and if you're so inclined, please leave a comment below. Share your thoughts, share your sympathies, or simply offer a message of hope and healing to the Malema family. Let's build together a family of kindness and peace. Don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs a moment of pause, and subscribe if you're new here. We are here to share true stories, celebrate real lives, and remind each other of what matters most. Until next time, be good to your loved ones and be good to each other.